Yo, it's good. It's Skano. So there's this new phenomenon. You can call it sort of a war tactic, but people with online social media presences, whether it's Instagram, Facebook. I'm not all that familiar with all, Twitch and all this other stuff, but I know TikTok is the wave. So, which brings me to the point. Some people getting reckless with this TikTok shit. And by that I mean if you employed by somebody, a corporation, you know, a company, woo woo, you need to keep in mind that you are a representation of that company or corporation, right? So whether you are there or not, I don't think some of y'all understand this shit. Whether you are on the clock or not, what you do off the clock, if it reflects poorly on this brand of this company, or you know what I'm saying, they have the right to fire you. They will fire you. And I don't think a lot of people understand that. So it's a new tactic being employed by, exes, former besties, maybe just somebody that don't even like you, but come across certain, you know, information. Anyway, all that to say that be careful what you putting on TikTok, Facebook, woo woo, which goes without saying, but as I said, yet this is common sense, but yet and still. So, and this is not, like I said, this is not some new phenomenon. This is something, there's multiple accounts of this occurring. I have an associate who fell out with a coworker. And in retaliation for whatever the fallout was, the coworker, former friend, contacted, HR, management, woo woo, and check this out. This so TikTok, something she had on TikTok. Um, Personally, like I said, I didn't deem it. It wasn't anything that was, you know, I would say graphic. But like I said, these companies, these corporations, they decide what they feel like is a negative, reflection on their brand. So what we deem or what one person may deem as content, entertainment, just, cultural expression, whatever the case may be, whether it's, and I'm just, for an example, twerking, just, and you could say, yeah, you infringing on my freedom of speech. There is no such thing as freedom of speech. Okay, so get that out your mind. You know what I'm saying? And y'all know that because most of us, if you said the wrong thing out your mouth to your mom or dad, you might get a kapow across the lips, right? So you learn as a kid firsthand, there ain't no such, that's a fallacy. So yeah, slow down with all that. There are consequences. Yeah, you're free to say whatever you want. We can say, yeah, we all know that. It's consequences, possibly. So, and like I said, man, I've heard other situations like this where people, are going to pay, people's places of employment, not going physically, but, you know, emailing them, social media sites or whatever, you know what I'm saying, to incriminate or put smut on somebody's name to get them fired in retaliation, for whatever. And it's like, hey, all is fair in love and war, right? So, me personally, I stay to myself. I don't tell people my business. We all know them nosy neighbors and nosy coworkers. It just, I don't even know if they realize they doing it. It's just in their nature, I guess. They just always in your mix, always, you know. And if they like that with you, you know they like that with everybody. So you got to be careful who, and that goes without saying. But some people, kind of, I think they forget that, coworkers ain't really like friends, man. I don't care how much you click with somebody. At the end of the day, they are competitors. That's the way I look at them. We are in competition. It and as far as social media, like I said, man, this is all common sense, but even the biggest bloggers, the biggest streamers, you know, have to answer to somebody. Technically, yeah, you could say, well, they their own boss, but if you come up on that platform and say the wrong thing about the wrong demographic, that's that. It's a wrap. So everybody has to answer to somebody, almost. You know what I'm saying? But most of us have to answer to somebody at the end of the day. So that being said, and needless to say, some people, when they, get on social media, they can get carried away and jump out their body. And there's consequences for that. I don't want to delve down a dark road, so. But I wanted to speak briefly about this dude, this young man, this brilliant young man, 19-year-old Julian Brown. This young brother figured out how to turn plastic, just regular plastic, into gasoline. And I come on here and I put out a lot of, like I said before, I speak on a lot of things that are dark in nature, the darker aspects of human nature and society. And I do feel a responsibility to also highlight, individuals like this young man, Julian Brown, who is obviously headed for great things. This dude then figured out how to make gas. We need to protect this young brother at all costs. I'm almost reluctant to speak on this story because, and I know it's just paranoia, but it's like I don't want to, it's like don't pump him up too much because you don't want the wrong eyes to. I know it sounds crazy, but it's like these oil companies, these oil corporations. Do you really think they want EVs and shit to take off? You really think they want that wave of technology? They don't want us to figure out an alternative to gas. What would happen to these oil corporations? Billions and trillions of dollars. What would they do? They don't want this to happen, man. I heard of a story, and I don't want to take no shine off a dude. But briefly, I know y'all heard about back at least 10 years ago. Somebody figured out how to make a car run, an engine, a combustible engine, off of corn oil or vegetable oil. The oil they collected from, I know I ain't the only one. They collected oil from the old oil, from fast food chains, restaurants, used cooking oil, and used it to. What happened to them dudes? Or those, whoever. What happened to them? This is why I say, man, the paranoia, because, so I don't want to even speak it, So it's like these oil companies do not want an alternative. You think they couldn't have figured out an alternative? You telling me y'all can go to the moon, so y'all say. Y'all can go to the moon, but y'all can't figure out how to make these big tin cans go down the road without gasoline. And the whole battery charger thing, like we already got batteries in our car that's energized. You can't, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Now they dragging ass on the EVs and rolling that out. EVs will never overtake gas powered cars. That whole propaganda was just the fuel cells and get interest in EV. And I do believe they're trying to cut down on emissions overall, But at the end of the day, man, EVs will never overtake gasoline powered cars. So get that fallacy out of your mind. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, this brother, Julian Brown, maybe he's already figured out, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, yeah, hey, bro, because they killing us at the gas pumps, man. Help us out, bro. Do what you do. 216 Skano, you already know.